Science defines water according to the chemical formula H2O, because a water molecule consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. But water is much more. It is the origin of all life. It is a substance shrouded in secrecy. In earlier times, people had a closer relationship with water. In our modern civilization, based on its absolute faith in technology, the ancient knowledge concerning water has lost its significance. And yet, there is much to suggest that water has powers of which we still know almost nothing. In order to explore water, it is important to observe it, to learn how to understand it, and to restore our connection with water and thus with life. As our reward, we may discover fascinating phenomena. For 30 years now, the Austrian provincial assemblyman Richard Kandut has been spending his spare time on a lake in Upper Styria, where he has had a strange experience. It's the most interesting thing I've ever seen. 3 years ago, I started working with grander equipment. Before we put it into the lake, we tested a sample of the water and had it analyzed, and we found out there were 1,100 germs in it. That means that the water was completely unfit for human consumption and even dangerous to health. No one would have believed it because it's pure spring water. 3 months later, after we'd installed the grander equipment, the figure had dropped to 50 units, and now we're at 0. That means the lake has the quality of pure drinking water. For me, there's no other explanation except that grander is responsible. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I wouldn't try to force it on anyone. You just have to experience for yourself what I have experienced. There's simply no denying it, and I don't care how many scientists come along and try. I can see for myself what has happened in actual fact in the pond and in the lake. This top local politician believes that he has a Tyrolean naturalist to thank for the fact that a polluted lake has become clean again. Inside this hollow cylinder is nothing but energized water, which possibly contains the self-cleansing powers of original water. Apparently, this can be transferred to polluted water. It remains a mystery how water is revitalized. Only this much is known. At certain times, natural magnets set it vibrating. Johann Grander received the ancient knowledge of terrestrial magnetism from his father. I don't have a university education, you know, but I do know a bit about nature. I have observed it again and again, and that's how I figured it out. His discovery of water revitalization has had many and diverse consequences and is already being put to use worldwide. The phenomena of water revitalization cannot yet be explained scientifically, but there are many things under the sun that humankind cannot yet explain. The anomalies that we have concerning water are not a sign that the water is abnormal, but rather that our theories are not up to the demands that should be made of them. In the field of practical experience, however, we are quite a bit further along. The public swimming pool at Trauchgau in Allgäu has been fitted with water revitalization equipment for the past 4 years. This is long enough to yield medium-term results. The swimming supervisor here was originally highly skeptical of the experiment. After years of observation, he now speaks of his experience with it.
Nach ein paar Tagen war mir klar, es ist sehr wichtig fürs Bad. Also das Wasser ist ganz anders.
After only a few days, it was clear that this was very important. The water, the pool water, is completely different now. It is much milder, and I've learned that I can get by with less chlorine. That is very beneficial to the pool users. The water is milder on their skin, there's far less eye irritation, and it's also far less harmful to the environment. I've been able to reduce it by at least a third. But there are also problems. The health authorities require a certain level of chlorine, and from time to time I fall below it. And now, of course, they're constantly coming here to check the water, to make sure that there aren't really any germs, any bacteria. But it's always zero. Everything is perfect.
Das Wasser kommt hier rein, durch das Gerät.
The water flows in here through the equipment, picks up the vibrations, and goes right back into the same pipe, the same as it used to. The owner of the private brewery Dial at Osterberg in Swabia also has interesting experiences to report.